And we are live. What's going on, YouTube Live? It's your boy Billy Rowe. Today is Wednesday. I'd like to welcome you to the Wednesday Word. That's Wednesday Word. Man, it's been a while. I think it's been since February before I had a Wednesday Word up. So I thank you guys. Somebody's already rocking with us. So I thank you guys for rocking with us. Thank you guys for being patient. I hope everybody is healthy, well, safe, doing good, and your families are doing good, and your friends are doing good. Man, there's so much that is taking place. I wish I could share it all with you, but we're going to jump straight into the topic as we always do here on the Wednesday Word on First Row. I thank you guys again for sitting on the first row. Thank you guys for joining and rocking with me. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Tonight's topic is Dream Now. I had to put a little inflection on that because it's an exclamation mark on it. What's going on, Brother Damien? What's going on, Cousin Brian? Man, dream now. As always, I like to say what I mean by my topic. So what do I mean by the topic of dream now? Really, in the past 3 months that I've been in quarantine, I feel like, from COVID, I really have been looking at how life itself we just take for granted, and the importance of pursuing our dreams now instead of waiting. Oh, well, once I get X, I'll start doing Y. Once I do, or once I have this, I'll do that. Really, the importance of us pursuing our dreams right now, just going out there, going after it, and getting after it. Because, in all honesty, we're not promised tomorrow, number one. But number two, it's like, why would you put off something that you truly, truly want? So go after it. That's what I mean by the topic of dream now. And as always, I got 3 tools for you for the first row. And actually, I got a bonus tool for you that was given to me by a friend during a conversation. So you'll have 4 tools tonight, 3 from the first row, 1 from, we'll just call my friend. I won't put her out there like that. But what's going on, JC? But let's go ahead and jump into it for the topic. So when it comes to the first characteristic that I thought about when it came to dreaming now, like what was important, it really was for me that time is not guaranteed. We may think we have a certain amount of time to achieve something, and we can find out abruptly, or we can find out, and it doesn't even, I don't mean like you have to die or anything like that. You could just have something that disables you and makes you not capable of pursuing your dream. One of the things that I want to do personally currently right now is zip line in different parts of the world. Well, in order to zip line in parts of different parts of the world, you have to be a certain weight capacity because zip lines can only take so much weight. Right now, I believe, I don't know because I haven't been on a scale, but I believe I am over the threshold for zip lining. So the time that I could have been doing all the zip lining when I was younger, lighter, and more agile, I took that time for granted and didn't pursue one of those dreams that I have of ziplining around, not around the world, but in different areas of the world. I took that for granted. So now I have to actually do extra work to get to a place to where I can pursue the dream, whereas before I was already in position to pursue that particular dream. So the first thing is time is not guaranteed. And I don't mean this in the sense of operating off of a position of fear where you're afraid that you're not going to have enough time, or you're afraid that again, tomorrow's not promised, so I could be gone the next minute, so I better pursue it now. I don't mean operating based off of fear, but what I really mean is operating based off of drive, having the drive to truly pursue your dreams and put forth that effort in order to accomplish them. Again, if there's one thing COVID taught us is that you can 1 minute be healthy, spry, and doing your best, and then the next minute you could be down either for the count, or you can be down for a significant portion of time. This year I had plans to do concerts. I liked concerts as a kid and really enjoyed like MC Hammer, MC Light, all those people that I grew up listening to music. I'm kind of dating myself a little bit, but I enjoyed growing up listening to music and going to live concerts. And this year was going to be a year where I was going to go to a ton of concerts. I already had concerts on my calendar, a couple Cirque du Soleil shows on my calendar, and that time that I waited to have these experiences, to pursue those dreams. Sometimes we think dreams are these massive things. Sometimes some dreams are just smaller things, like traveling and seeing the world. I was going to go to Disney, not Disneyland. I'm not a Disneyland person. Universal Studios Orlando. I was going to go to the Caribbean. All those things that I have planned for this year have been canceled, have been we're going to say postponed, but in my bank account, they've been canceled because the money is back in my bank account. So just taking that time for granted, that I was going to have time to travel, that I was going to have time to get to see these concerts, taking it for granted, and now not knowing when I'm going to have the opportunity to do it again. Whether that's because of the work demand that I have in my own profession has increased significantly, or just the artists themselves may not be comfortable being out in public or having mass crowds of people joining them. So there's all these different things that really, in this particular this first tool is about time not being guaranteed, that really come into play. And so how do we maximize the use of our time? How do we efficiently use our time? I'm reading a book right now called Attention Management, and it talks about how time management is really impossible. You can't change how time is moving, so you can't manage time. However, you can manage where your attention flows. And that's what I've really been focusing on, is managing where my attention flows in the things that I'm doing, whether that's rest and relaxation, which I've had an abundance of that during this shelter in place to keep my sanity. If I'm going to be at home for days and days and days on end, I need R&R. And so I have increased my video game playing, for instance. I've increased the amount of video game playing that I have, which gives me another social aspect or social component to tap into. And this is maybe not the most effective use of my time if I'm thinking what video games are. However, it is an effective use of my time if I think of the fact that I am a human and I need R&R. And this quarantine, being locked in this apartment or trapped in this apartment at times it feels, has not been the most social experience that I've had. So I've really tapped into that attention management and providing myself the permission, really was what the word is, providing myself the permission to fall into certain things that I had moved myself away from. So that's the first tool. It's going to kind of be a little worried tonight. It's been a while since I was the word. I kind of miss y'all, so I got to give y'all as much as I can, give you as much as I can. Hey, what's going on, Kristen? So the tool number two, that's our first tool, is really about just really realizing that time is not guaranteed. So tool number two is, there is something that's next. And what I mean by this tool is that when we have these dreams, not necessarily the small dreams, but the larger dreams in life that we're trying to accomplish, there's something that's next after that. There's something that is behind that waiting to happen, but it is waiting with the caveat that this dream has to happen first. And I don't mean our own self, thoughts of, well, I can't be a millionaire until I get my credit right. I don't mean things like that. I mean, there's genuine things that are happening. For instance, I have a friend who's currently in the process of buying a home, and it was their goal to purchase a home before they were 40. And they are still not 40, and they're about to purchase their home. They're like within earshot almost of, arm's length of acquiring their home. And we think about, oh, once I get a home, then I will have this place that I can call my own. I'll have this ownership. I'll have all these different things. But we don't think about the power of having a home when it comes to when I owned my home in California. Somebody needed help, and they were able to come to me and say, hey, I need help, and can I stay with you? And it wasn't like one person, it was multiple people that were coming to stay with me. And because I owned my home, this is something that was next, I didn't have to go to a landlord or talk to my apartment complex leasing office and say, hey, I'm thinking about having some people here for the next 3 months. How do I put them on the lease? How do I do this? How do I do that? It really gave me the control of the experience to say, hey, I have this asset and I'm in a position to help, and to be able to offer that help unencumbered by somebody else's process because they own the property, or they didn't want 10 people staying in their house, because there was a lot of people staying in my house for a short time. And so that's what I mean when I say there's something next. There's something that is behind our dreams. My brother Damian Rowe wrote a book, Modern Day Mentor. There is something after that modern day mentor that is behind there, that is influence, that is speaking engagements, that is speaking into people's lives, that doesn't happen until modern day mentor happens. And so that is what I mean when I say there is something next. There's something that the lack of your pursuit of your dream is holding back. So realize that if you can get to the dream itself, that that's something that is next, then you're right in position to hit whatever that may be. And a lot of the times what happens is that something that is next when we don't pursue our dream, that something that's next still comes. The person still comes and says, hey, we need help. The person still needs somebody to speak into their life. The person still is looking for that support from you that they would have had you achieved your dream, but you're out of position and you can't provide that support, unfortunately. So make sure that you understand when it comes to Dream Now, the reason why Dream Now is so important is because there's something next, there's something after now. Now is just this moment, but after now is the future, and we want to make sure that we're prepared and in the best position possible for the future. So that's tool number 2. There's something next. And then tool number 3 is remember that our dreams are a journey. And I liken this because whenever I hear the word dream for myself personally, I think about the aspect of when I fall asleep. When I fall asleep, I don't have to put any energy or effort into dreaming. I'm either going to have a dream or I'm not going to have a dream. I'm either going to have a nightmare or I'm not going to have a nightmare. It's not anything that I'm putting effort into. It's just I'm going to sleep. But when we're trying to pursue those dreams in reality, or what I call waking dreams, when we're trying to pursue those dreams, they require effort. They require a journey for us to get to that said dream. It's very rare that we're going to be born on this earth and then all of a sudden we're at our dream. It's not the blink of an eye like how when we go to sleep and we begin to dream. It is actually a very long and it sometimes can be laborious process, not always laborious, but sometimes a laborious process to actually get to our dreams. But one thing that I found is the reason why it's important to remember that it's a journey is because that journey toughens your feet. It strengthens your hands. It strengthens your muscles. It develops you into the person that you need to be in order to sustain your dream. There is nothing that I can think of. Actually, well, it's more disheartening. There's very few things that I can think of that are disheartening, but there's one thing that's disheartening is to be able to achieve your dream and not sustain it. You see this when people like abruptly win the lottery. They've taken no time to think about money management, future planning, assets, or anything like that. They hit the lottery, they win $50 million, and then they are broke. They call it the curse of the lottery, like you have a curse for winning. But it's not a curse for winning. What it is it's a matter of a lack of preparation and understanding of what is going to be needed to facilitate that mass amount of money. I'm definitely not a millionaire by any stretch of the imagination, but I have a little bit of money that I've had to figure out how to manage better. And it all came from when I said, you know what? I'm done having zero be zero. I'm done having my bank account say zero and then waiting for the next check. What I want is my bank account to say 3,000. I want that to be my new zero. And so what I did is I reset what my zero was. And once I reset my zero, all of a sudden that was easy to obtain. And so I just kept resetting the zero until the numbers kept going up. And now they're in a place where I'm like, how can I make the number higher? But that is what happens is we sometimes get ourselves to our dreams. If we get there in a blink of an eye, or if we teleport to our dream, we're so unprepared for them that we totally destroy them and we wreak havoc. And those very dreams that we're saying, or that I'm saying to dream now, to achieve or to pursue, become our nightmares and they become our biggest and deepest regrets. And so that's the important part of understanding that there's a journey. Remember, there's a journey and there's a reason there's a journey so that you can be the person that you need to be. You can have the acumen, whether it's business acumen, financial acumen, spiritual acumen, communication acumen. You can have those tools and resources that you need in your pocket and not have to run somewhere else to go and get them in the midst of experiencing your dream. So those are the 3 tools. I got a bonus tool for you based on the conversation that I was having with a friend. The bonus tool for the first row tonight, since it's a welcome back edition, is be aware of self-sabotage. And I had this conversation just today, right before, like maybe an hour before Wednesday Word. But this was a bonus tool that was given in the sense of our dreams are something that we pursue for. There's something we pursue. There's something that we actually manifest. Like my theory is when people are like, oh, I never knew that this day would come, that I would have this dream. Well, there was some kind of dream, some kind of seed that was there for that to take place, because I don't believe things happen on accident. And so the beware of the self-sabotage aspect is as we get closer to our dreams, when they begin to come real, they really begin to come real once you start to speak them out, and they begin to come real right then. But once you start to get ready to the actual conception, and not conception, the reception of your dreams, sometimes we get afraid, we get fearful, we try to sabotage our dream, because it's like, do I really deserve home ownership? Do I really deserve love? Do I really deserve a healthy relationship? We start to self-sabotage and do things that, and I mean, I'm guilty of this as well, where it's like, yeah, I want to be in a great relationship where we communicate and we're honest and we're open and we're transparent and all these different things. And then you have that and you're like, wait a minute, what are you holding back? You must be lying about something, because this is too good to be true, because it's what I asked for. Realize it's manifesting because you asked for it. It's not manifesting because it's just by chance you happen across a good relationship. You asked for it, and then you became the person that you needed to become in order to receive that good relationship, which may mean, hey, being able to look at the other relationships that you failed in and see your part that you played, and say, oh man, I need to stop looking at what BBD said, never trust a big button to smile. I need to stop looking at that and start looking at this mind frame and see what I'm actually getting into besides the physical. So those are the things in that second one. Really, sometimes we allow that doubt to creep in while our dream is in progress. And because we allow that doubt to creep in, we start self-sabotaging our own dreams. So that's the bonus takeaway for you. So really quick to go over the 4 tools that I have for you tonight. The very first tool, I'm sorry, I'm using an iPad for the first time, is time is not guaranteed. Realize that it's just like in the quit playing video I did. We don't know what the time is on the timer is on the shot clock, so quit playing like you do. Number 2 is there's something that is next. There is something behind your dream waiting to take place, but it more than likely will either not happen before your dream takes place, or if it does happen, you will not be prepared for it for when it does take place if you haven't accomplished your dream. Number 3 is remember that it's a journey. This is not going to happen in a blink of an eye. Like the small dreams, going to a concert, that's something that can happen for me in a blink of an eye, because I either have the money or I don't. However, the larger dreams, the larger things that we want to accomplish in life, it doesn't happen in the blink of an eye. Toughen up the bottom of the soles of your feet, toughen up your muscles, get your body built and ready, so when things come in, you're ready to receive them. And then the bonus tool for you is beware of self-sabotage. Sometimes we're our worst critic, sometimes we're our worst enemy when it comes to our dreams. Don't allow yourself to allow fear and doubt to seep into your dream, especially while it's in progress, to start self-sabotaging because you think that you're unworthy of the dream that you've been in pursuit of. So those are the 4 tools. As always, I like to share a personal story with you in regards to what got me thinking about this topic. Really, what got me thinking about this topic was a conversation with a friend. I asked her specifically, what do you think the topic should be? And she presented this as a topic, and it immediately resonated with me. But I really want to share, when it comes to Dream Now, about the first row and where I've been at for the past 3 months now, because February 19th was my last first row that I did, or Wednesday Word that I did. And in some of that time I've spent dealing with, just life, dealing with COVID, dealing with lockdown. I have kids, so being a teacher, definitely not a fan of being a teacher in the sense of teaching academics. However, the other aspects of that was really spent in quarantine, like the rest of you guys. And I had tons of opportunities to jump online and get engaged with the audience and really share some of my thoughts and my insights. However, my heart was not there because I had so many other things that I was doing. I was literally working an 8-hour day remotely from home, and then working a 4-hour day as a teacher, and then trying to spend time with my sons, and then trying to make sure things were functioning properly. So there was that aspect of the COVID-19 that really kind of like put my pursuit of my dreams on pause. And it's crazy that it would put my pursuit of my dreams on pause when you're seeing that people are checking out because of this COVID-19. Like they're losing their lives over this COVID-19 virus. So it would make me think that I would say, well, I need to get as much as I can done when it comes to first row right now. So that way, if I do unfortunately check out, I have as much stuff as I could have gotten out there. But the other side of that was time spent in leisure. And this is why if you've read the description of this, I said there's time spent in reflection and growth. And then there's been time that I can be honest and transparent about that was just wasted. Time wasted just eating out. Like I ate out a lot, a whole lot. I'm trying to get that back under control. So I have some accountability partners that I'm working with that on. But just eating out a lot, playing an abundance of video games, like being so worn out from the week that I'm just like, Saturday, I don't want to do anything besides eat fast food that's delivered to my house and play video games. That's all I want to do. I don't want to think. I don't want to write. I don't want to draw. I mean, at one point I was like, I don't even want to work on my book. I just want to I just want my mind to just veg. And that really comes into that aspect of the dream where there's something next, and having to keep in mind that there's something next. And I know that there's not something next after the video game. There's something next after the dream. And the dream for me is writing the book. I can't say the title yet. I know the title, but I can't say the title yet. I almost said it. But writing the book that I'm working on, and really diving into speaking engagements and diving into self-development and self-help and motivational and inspirational speaking. Those are the things that I really want to dive into next. And those are some things that are next that I have to really recenter my focus on in order to get to where I want to be. And then the last part of it being the self-sabotage aspect. Actually, I understand there's a road, and the road is just jumping back in. So at probably like 15 minutes before the Wednesday Word went up on social media, I felt like, maybe I won't do a Wednesday Word. But really, for me, I know the importance of just jumping back in, because even if I feel like I'm out of practice or it doesn't feel as natural as it was when I was doing it week after week after week, I had to say, you know what? I need to go ahead and set in front of this camera and be accountable for the choices that I've made, and be accountable to the dream that I say I want to pursue. Other than that, I need to stop lying about the dream that I want to pursue and say, yeah, I just want that to fall in my lap. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to not be able to handle it. So that's the road. And then the last part is the self-sabotage. Hey, what's going on, Underrated? Is the self-sabotage. Understanding that the choice that I make, whether it's to do and create content or not do and create content, that is a choice. And every time I choose to not do and make the content, I'm choosing a choice of self-sabotage, because I believe that the First Row is a great platform. And I don't not just because I created the First Row platform, but it is and has been a great platform for sharing stories, sharing insights. And really, as these things roll back on my calendar, they hit me sometimes harder than when I first said them. It's like, ooh, shoot, that was a first row Wednesday Word, and we did talk about this. And so these are lessons that are coming back to me over and over and over again. So really understanding that self-sabotage choice, I have to stop choosing self-sabotage and start choosing the enlightened thoughts of, this is something that I want to see grow. This is something that I want to see flourish, and really pour those choices, or choose those choices and pour that energy into those levels. And so really this Wednesday Word for me is about just transparency. I even left the beard all out and scruffy for you. Got the no haircut. I didn't freshen up or anything. I just wanted to come on as an authentic human who makes good choices, who makes bad choices, and really just be open to the audience, be open to the First Row, to you guys, and be accountable to you guys for the choices to not have First Row Wednesday Words every third Wednesday. And to the point where I'm actually considering now going back to every week, just because that is something that will continue to push the thoughts through me, and it also helps me indirectly with my writing. So that's what I got for you guys today. I'm so glad you guys have tuned in. What's going on, Cranberry? I'm so glad. Oh, Crandall Rankins was my youth pastor growing up. Really quick, one thing that he had talked about while we were dealing with a pandemic of COVID-19, he was talking about spreading a pandemic of love. And I'm definitely with the spreading of the pandemic of love. Let's go ahead and get that out there. Hashtag love pandemic. One thing I'm finding is in this COVID era that people didn't realize how important other people were to them. And I don't mean like people you know, I mean strangers. They didn't realize how important strangers were to them until they couldn't talk to anybody. They couldn't be around people. I mean, I'm walking on the street, I'm walking and getting into my car, and people who are walking who I've never seen in my life are like, hey, how are you doing? I just want to say hi. It's so nice to see people. It's so nice to just talk to another human outside of my house. We didn't realize how important the unknown people in our lives were until we were completely cut off from them. So spread that pandemic of love. As always, I thank you guys for tuning in. If you like this video, share it. If you share this video, like it. I'm always happy to engage with you guys in the live chat. I'm happy to engage with you up to the first week in the comments if you are watching via the replay. But until then, until the next time, possibly next Wednesday, I'm not going to guarantee it yet, but possibly next Wednesday, I will see you for another Wednesday word. Until the next time, one love, peace, and God bless. And I forgot which button to turn off the Wednesday word for, so you guys got to bear with me while I scroll. All right, good night, you guys.